In a previous video, I discussed the severe impacts climate change is having on Canada's environment and economy, as well as the benefits of the price on pollution for the environment and for Canadians, who on average receive more back in rebates than they pay on pollution pricing. If you haven't watched this video yet, follow the link here. In this video, I'm going to debunk 3 of the big myths about Canada's carbon pricing rebate. Hopefully this information will clear the air of conservative misinformation. 1. Canadians are worse off because of the price on pollution. This is possibly the most common argument we hear against the price on pollution and the carbon rebate. Conservatives love to say that Canadians are worse off with the rebate than they were before. This simply isn't true. We know that 8 out of 10 Canadians receive more back in carbon rebates than they pay in direct and indirect pollution pricing. This has been independently confirmed by the Parliamentary Budget Officer, by the Canadian Climate Institute, and economists across the country. Just look at this data from Statistics Canada. The bars in red show the monthly costs of the price on pollution, and the bars in blue show the monthly gains that households of all income levels receive from the carbon rebate. You can see that more households are better off with the rebate than without. This benefit becomes even more clear when we look at specific income levels. This graph shows Canadian households with incomes below $50,000. We can see that the vast majority of working-class Canadians gain far more per month in carbon rebates than they pay in pollution pricing. So if the price on pollution and carbon rebate put more money back in the pockets of Canadians, why are the Conservatives so caught up in this policy? Well, the answer is very simple. If we look at the highest income bracket, those making $250,000 or more, we can see that they pay more on average in pollution pricing than they receive in carbon rebates. This is the only income bracket that is worse off from our policy. Why is this? Well, our government knows that the wealthiest 10% of Canadians are responsible for a quarter of all emissions. So when we collect the price on pollution, the wealthiest Canadians end up paying the most, and the rest of Canadians, 8 out of 10, receive more in carbon rebates than they pay for the price on pollution. So when Pierre and its Conservatives say axe the tax, who are they really fighting for? You or the richest Canadians who don't benefit from this? 2. The carbon rebate increases inflation. The price on pollution is also not the driver of inflation. The Bank of Canada has reported that it only contributes 0.15% to inflation. This is a very small amount. The main drivers of inflation are supply chain issues caused by COVID-19, the war in Ukraine, and the surge in global demand after the pandemic. On April 1st, we increased the price on pollution and the carbon rebate. Since then, inflation has decreased, and the Bank of Canada has cut interest rates for the first time since March 2020. So if the price on pollution and carbon rebate contributed to inflation, wouldn't have inflation increased? 3. The price on pollution doesn't reduce emissions. The price on pollution does reduce emissions. The rebate and pollution pricing are helping Canada meet its emission reduction goals by contributing to 1/3 of all emission reductions between now and 2030. Because of pollution pricing, Canada is set to hit its emission targets for the first time in history. It's also helped Canada have the strongest emission reduction performance among G7 nations over the last 2 years. Just look at this chart from the Canadian Climate Institute. The red line shows how much carbon emissions would be increasing if we didn't have a price on pollution and other environmental policies. The blue line shows how much our carbon emissions are decreasing thanks to our pollution pricing and other environmental policies. The orange, green, and light blue lines show how much further our emissions will decrease with the policies that our government is developing. What this data tells us is that the price on pollution is working, and it is helping our economy transition into a green future. Thank you for watching this video. If there are any other carbon rebate myths that you'd like me to cover or that I've missed, please leave a comment below.